We know that victim survivors won't leave a dangerous situation sometimes if that means leaving their pet behind. The Minnesota Pet Coalition offers a safe place for pets to go so that their owner feels empowered in leaving, knowing that their pets will be safe.
What excited me about this coalition is 6 organizations, 3 domestic violence shelters, and 3 animal welfare, animal well-being organizations that have come together collaboratively to meet a huge need in the community, so that victim survivors can leave and find safety and not have to leave their pets behind.
What's really unique about this coalition is that we've made a big effort to reach out to people who want to support survivors specifically and maybe don't have any previous experience fostering or dealing with animal welfare, and that's really exciting.
Some of the reasons why people chose to volunteer were quite frankly so moving for me. We had therapists, social workers who responded and saying they have been doing this work in domestic violence for a long time, and not once did they even think about this aspect of it.
Traditional fostering is just helping an animal, and this type of fostering is helping a human being who is in crisis, and that's a really good feeling. So I got a phone call from women's advocates to pick up a cat. The supports that I received were all of the supplies needed to care for the pet. If the cat was ill, I was able to bring it to the Bond Between for veterinary care. If I needed help with transportation, they offered that as well.
Fostering and volunteering should be accessible to everybody and completely free. We provide food crate supplies, training support, everything from advice on how to tether a dog into your car to how to set your home up in preparation for a new pet to come in.
The needs for pet fosters in the community has been immense. Since the coalition started opening up for fosters, we've had over 40 in 2 months requesting need for pet fostering.
The biggest need right now in the Pet Coalition is volunteers. It's free and super low barrier to be a foster, and there's a place for everyone.